Yep. Thank you. Thank you. What are we doing when we meditate? We're trying to understand ourselves, not through the mind, but by immersing ourselves in our own body and mind. We immerse ourselves in it, drop into it. We become it. The purpose of meditation generally is to find your emptiness core. All that there's at the core is sentience, knowing without there being any object known. We go there because it's extremely pleasurable, for one thing, having your mind stop and all the daily activities not burdening you. And when you learn to just sit down in a few moments to fall into your own existential source, you find a great deal of power. When the power gets really strong, you don't feel like moving because the power brings a strong stillness. And then there's stillness. There's no movement of mind or body. And when you're sitting well, there's no awareness of your body at all because you're immersed in the body and no longer an observer of the body. Now, I understand that there are all kinds of tricks you can learn in this state to manipulate both yourself and others. This is just a toy. Don't pay it any heed. Just go into the nothingness and dissolve there and become nothing. Immediately, you'll feel when you're starting to do this. For me, the birth of the sentience in my chest It's the origin of my own consciousness. So I drop in there and rest into my own consciousness. But my own consciousness is not just consciousness of what's in front of me or the seeing outside, because everywhere in consciousness is infused a center point, which is stillness or nothingness. You are aware with a strong sense of awareness of yourself and the world around you. When you sit with many people, it's a little more complicated because there's no one thing that you find that you want to be doing when you meditate. Everybody has a say, and you're feeling it. If you enter that place where we're all meeting, we all instantly affect each other. It's like a direct connection. And this also works in the world of the invisible. This is how you find entrance to different states of mind from this station in the center, not moving. And as your not moving deepens, your body stiffens, and you start feeling a great joy. Your mind's not working. So all that there is emptiness and joy. And you feel the sense of this nothingness, which I could call for as a definition. Let me see, I'm trying to create that empty space now. In this empty space, we join each other. It's not obvious at first, unless we're aware of another and the other in our ascension space, in our space of shared awareness. Normally, when this is done in a room of 15 to 100 participants, you just feel around in the room. What does it feel like from inside your heart? You just be quiet and you open your own heart to joining whatever is outside of you. Now, when you're in a room with others, as long as you're all sitting quietly, what draws attention is movement. If I move and suggest that we group as a group, you should do meditation or something else, or I start explaining a concept, that room is shared by all if they're listening closely, and good communication is possible. But the purpose of meditation in a group has nothing to do with communicating or controlling others or being controlled by others. It's to immerse yourself in the center of this group in the same way. In private meditation, you only sink into your own self. So you take that same ability to sink in your own self, and you sink into the self of the group, which is not hard if you're sitting well and the group is sitting, because yourself and the group are the same. This raises questions as to what am I when I'm in meditation? Am I what I perceive as a body in silence and trying to describe what that is? Or do I go beyond communication and just drop into myself and disappear into the inner awareness of Ed Muzika, which has the same quality as the inner life of all of you, each and every one? What we perceive is different because of our training and our life. I, for one, search out first for things that are different in my body, or for mental rooms we've created to meet each other. It doesn't matter. What matters is the stillness you're in. Acquiring an ability to rest in stillness is a very high practice. To be able to rest in yourself gives you great power. Other people can respond to it. The master is sitting in samadhi. Many others will follow him into that same samadhi. Or we can have separate ones where we don't join together. There isn't an internal feeling that we are joining in the emptiness of anyone else. And what we see in the emptiness isn't important. What's important is that we stay silent in ourselves. Even to use the mind to investigate meditation takes a while to settle down into quietness, stillness, and observation. We're still like a like, what do they call those things? We're still, yet we're immersed in it. The experience of ourselves in emptiness. There's nothing really to grasp home about. I can sense the outlines and extent of my body. And I feel very happy here because I'm quiet and nothing disturbs my mind or draws too much attention. That's negative. In this state, the experience of being complete happens. And with it, a sense of power, because it's like you've mastered the mind. When you do that, your mind and all the energies within you surrender to you. It's not necessary for you to do anything else except to be there as a point for all others to follow. Yes, it is possible to join another person's thought processes through meditation. At first, when you try to do it, it'll feel unnatural and it won't work anyway. But after many attempts, it becomes easier and easier. But you won't feel like telepathy because you don't even want to talk yourself. It's just quiet. And to a large extent, dark because my eyes are mostly closed. And I feel happy. Nowhere to go, nothing to do. Even sitting here and talking to you is doing nothing. I'm just talking about how I am now. I'm not moving away from that. If you have a cat, maybe for the first time in your life, the cat will come and sit in your lap because now you directly perceive what life is like without mind, just resting in itself. And that's what a cat does after it's done all the playing and so forth. It just sits by itself and goes into itself. Then it goes to sleep. In satsang, you sink into yourself. And by that, the way I do it is to feel the entirety of my body, but most acutely my chest in this area, because that's where I hold my sense of self. Near the heart. And holding on to my sense of existence from the heart area. I feel ecstatic. Matter of fact, The more I practice, the more ecstatic I feel. I can ask myself, what need have I to do anything? So we do what we must, day to day, minute to minute. But we learn to covet those moments of quietness within the peace of ourselves when we're sitting in meditation, and then sitting more and more deep until we hit that center where we manipulate life. We can manipulate our bodies. It's a very quiet place. It's where most rested people go. They've completed their day or whatever their tasks. Now the time has come to do nothing. And most people don't do nothing. They fill their life with internal conversations, imagined stories that grip our mind, and we follow them. But we find nothing in them to directly grab our attention. The only thing that grabs our attention is my strong sense of I. I as an awareness. So I sink into myself and then reach out, look out, feel out everyone around me. And that way I'm in a position to allow my mind, or the caretaker above the mind, to allow me to go to different areas of my mind and experience. When you've explored yourself for 30 or 40 years, you're quite content with yourself. There's no need to improve because the feeling of self is complete and holy. Now, I know this meeting is being recorded because my screen told me it was. Does anyone know how to save that recording? Yes. Chris, tell me.
I thought you asked if someone knows how to save the recording, and the answer is yeah. I post them on YouTube
Say
every
that
week.
again slowly. Start.
Oh, I thought you asked if someone knew how to post the recordings And the
No,
answer
no,
is yes.
save them.
Sa
Save them.
say, save them. Oh, yeah. I save them. I have all of them. Well, not all, but the last few
How do you
years.
do it? How do you do it?
Oh, there's a recording button on the bottom of the Zoom panel, and I hit record and I record it to my computer.
Well, that's a setup that you've done, though, right?
Well,
You
no, there's a recording button. It just says record. And if it's not there, it's under more. Do you see a
have.
more button with some
Yeah.
three dots?
Uh-huh.
Maybe it's in there. If you hit
Oh,
more,
yeah.
other options come up, and it might be in there.
Yeah, it's there. There it is. And their request to record from this recorder comes up,
Yep,
and I say, yes.
yep. Hit that, and I'll give you permission. Done.
Okay. You know, for me, it's not easy to talk about the value of meditation because for me, that's my real home. There are no inner voices speaking to me, telling me to say something or do something. I'm here to figure out all these things all by myself through feeling my world from the inside and learning what to do by following what comes from my innerness. Right now, my innerness isn't concerned with how to start or record meditation. My innerness is strongly directed to perceive itself and itself alone, just the innerness of our own sentience, without words, without ideas, but just sort of feeling like we're falling into the computer, maybe from the chest, so it motivates the opening of the heart, and then learning how to fall into the computer and retrieve yourself from the computer. And then sit here doing nothing and hear the immensity of the world around us outside when a plane passes over. It's very strange here. I'm in a suburb of Phoenix. And when I rest here with you, oh, I let go of my separateness and merge with you as a separate entity with many different corpuscles within it. So every day, actually, I'm confronted by this problem. What the hell is consciousness? What are its rules? What is its form? How does it work? How does it rest? And after a while, I can pretty much tell all these different things. But I really don't want to do anything because I'm happy doing nothing and just experiencing everything. Does anybody have any questions on how to go deeper, how not to go deep, how to enter your own awareness? Well, generally, the answer for all of them is to become aware of yourself, sitting in nothingness with nothing on your mind and your attention not directed at any specific point, but globally spread all over. And for most of you, this will be very pleasurable. For some of you, it'll be very new. And you don't know what to think about it, and it keeps disappearing anyway. But this is the mind that's born of meditation, which means a mind that's been raised in emptiness and silence and experiencing the world and myself in a very different way than others do. Because the words others use don't influence me at all. Just sit in this state of emptiness, not thinking about anything, not holding your attention onto any point within you or around you, and just do nothing. Your mind will be aware, but there'll be nothing sweeping through your mind because your mind is bound to yourself. It's only on itself. You have to watch out here to not lose touch with your deeper self, or you'll tend to go to sleep. So you have to have your awareness on your own beingness residing within you, along your heart to your abdomen. It's a lot harder to do this satsang than a talking satsang because I'm trying to be with you in different ways than you are with other people at any time. I'm trying to be with you in silence and yet with an ability to awaken from that silence and to do something with my mind or with my body. I know you have that capability too, but I know that since you're sitting in meditation, you probably don't want to do anything except sit in meditation because such rest in one's own self is so profoundly deep and satisfying. It feels so liberating to be able to surrender to nothingness or emptiness. Because you're at rest for a prolonged period of time. And you're learning how to recognize your own beingness from the inside. And if you lose hold of that you resting in you, come back to it. Come back into yourself again. And sink into yourself. Does anybody have any questions? Tom? Chris? Bernadette? Eddie? Jackson? Eric? BJ? Claudia? Mike? Jayanti? VJ?
Jayanti does.
Hi.
Hi. I'm not using the video. I'm in Australia in the middle of a flood, and it uses a lot more energy data. But hello, Regina. Thank you. And Robert, Adam.
Hi. Where are the floods?
I'm in a northeast New South Wales, just down from the Gold Coast, which is down from Brisbane.
Are they dangerous?
We had the cyclone Alfred that just has gone past, and we're like in the low current now. Where I am is safe, but it's all around me. Yeah, but
So
that's okay. I
it's
feel,
going on right now.
yeah, but it's been going for the last week. It's like got the intensity of the flood more now. But I did inquire into that in the middle of the when the cyclone was coming, because it really brought up who was getting so disturbed about it. And I feel like I surrendered to that. But what I wanted to say was I'm really not that perturbed. I feel like what to be is to be here. But I feel like I am not one of the, like all your students can go very deep. I'm very attracted to it. I come to it. I listen to a lot of Robert Adams.
What are
Recording.
you talking about? Depth? You say you have a
Depth of falling into it.
Yes.
I had one spontaneous happening right at the beginning, and that was not even trying. I always feel like I go still, but I feel like I'm just watching it all. I don't go. I feel like I don't know, like I'm controlling something, holding on to something. And I really know, I can feel it with you. I know, I feel very attracted to this satsang because of where you do go. But
And
I
you
feel
turn
like maybe I just
when
have to
you're,
keep on doing it.
yeah, that's true. But more than
Yeah.
that, how do you experience it now? How do you experience the inner flow and the inner direction of you now speaking with me? What's the overall feeling? Is it comfortable or is it uncomfortable? Or is there a ball somewhere? Is there a thought? How do you experience it? Or is there nothingness?
Do you mean how do I experience when I'm trying to meditate or when I'm talking to you?
No, right this moment. Right this moment.
Well, right this moment when you pointed that out to me, I felt like I started to connect to you and I wasn't talking from the head to you
Yes.
about my problem. And I could feel just for a minute like a vulnerability,
Uh-huh.
which I hadn't felt when I was just beating off my problem.
Keep coming. It takes a while to accept your inner world as your primary world rather than the external world, which we all assume is our real world. But it's not. The real world is when we immerse ourselves in ourselves and forget all about what we should be experiencing, what we're supposed to be feeling, and that kind of thing, all the educated stuff, all the past stuff coming up, and just sit quietly in ourselves and watch whatever happens. And gradually, over a period of time, nothing will happen. And you go to sleep sometimes, and then sometimes you just go very deeply in yourself. So it's something you learn over a period of time. So don't rush it. Just enjoy it. Learn how to enjoy life by watching everything, watching your own body, watch your responses to it, physical, mental. Learn to re-own you.
Learn to, what was that? Real me.
Yeah, re-own yourself.
Yes,
So there's nothing you're trying to improve in yourself anymore.
yes. Thank you.
Where you
I'm
accept
connecting.
where you accept yourself as you are and what you perceive as you are, and not try to reach beyond that, but just settle into where you are right now. Don't be trying to do anything except to settle. You don't try to go for more samadhi or anything like that. You go for nothingness. And to be, if you're invited somewhere, to go there.
I can feel that. Thank you.
To really get most out of who's this? What?
Vijay.
Oh, hi.
Hi. When I meditation, I chant a name, like example, Shiva, mentally, and my mind goes silent. Basically, no thought, and I watch that. Basically, head is like kind of quiet, and I say 10 to 12 times. It would like whenever there are thoughts, then I would say again. So it goes on like 10 or 12 times. So once I am out of it, it would be like 10 or 12 minutes, roughly. My question is that am I doing something wrong there, or is that it
That's
feels
very
good?
good. No, that's exactly right on. Because you've had a difficulty with this.
Yes.
So what you do is you accept that you have a difficulty and don't try to change it, and instead look at that difficulty within yourself. And then after that, stop even that and just rest in yourself.
Yeah, that's the idea. Like once I get to a place or state where I could prolong, I'm kind of hoping that it would be one instead of 12.
What do you mean?
Which means that say once, and
Oh,
that when
I see. I see.
aware of it, it will be like 10 minutes or 12 minutes.
Okay. Be aware of the transitions. When
Okay.
you're aware of the transitions, you step out of the process and you experience it from the outside, and you're able to experience the whole chain at once.
I don't know, but I will make a conscious effort on that. One thing I noticed is that these 12 times or whatever I say, it sounds like it's pretty quick. I mean, but it outside is like 12 minutes, 10 to 12 minutes. Initially, I was amazed with that. Like I thought it's like probably about 2, 3 minutes or so.
You can become a teacher of the 12-minute zazen, the world teacher of short action meditation. Fit it in your daily life. For all of you out there who have difficulties sitting for an hour at a time, come join us and we'll change every 10 minutes or so that nobody feels too bored. It's a new way of doing it.
I have no plans of doing that, but
What kind of work do you do?
software software development.
Oh my.
Yeah.
What language?
Nowadays, all sort of languages. There are different new stuff. They call like AI, that, this, and everything.
Is each language difficult to learn?
Yeah, that's what it is. I mean, it's like you have to adapt yourself to the new way of doing the things. Whereas probably if it is a doctor, all he has to do is just read the material. That's a new latest innovations or whatever, or the information. That's it. But in this case, you have to understand, you have to do a lot of stuff to become master of that each time. You know it already. You said you did in C++ plus plus or C or old assembly language, something you said. You worked really on your days.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
A long, long time ago. A
That's what.
time so wonderfully forgotten because your world is so tied up in your mind, and the mind constrained and focused can really break easy, especially if it keeps doing it day after day, month after month. So it's good that you're practicing now an ability to just rest in yourself away from all the jobs you're doing.
Happy birthday, by the way.
Thank you.
83rd birthday, I guess.
What is today? Date?
9th.
It's
Tomorrow
tomorrow.
is your tomorrow. Yeah.
Yes, I'll be 19 years old. Any other comments from any other points? You see that cat up there? to my left with the mustache. She was the love of my life the longest time. We were inseparable. She was with me all the time. She sat on my lap, or when in bed, she was at the bottom of my bed by my feet. And we had this wonderful relationship. And it's horrible when you separate from such a wonderful relationship like that. But I've been able to have that same relationship with a couple of other cats since then. Not as deep as with Gopi, because it was very natural with her. If you have an animal like that you can sink your heart into, it really helps to have that one around your house so you can commune with each other on a non-human level. A liquor commercial just jumped onto my, how the hell did that come into here? It's covering Sarah and Jayanti. And I can't read what it says. And it won't go away. Oh, I got it went away. You know, the computer world is not as friendly as it used to be. It's like when I go now and come into a channel, or I just skim over the internet. Everything tries to grab onto you. There's all kinds of enticing offers for silence or wealth or pleasure, or just disturbing your pleasure or disturbing your mind. It's very greedy, the internet. It's greedy. Don't let it take you. Just use it when you have to, or to just get into it with another person online. Right now, I feel so much happiness. I used to feel it as bliss, but now it's more like human happiness. And it's that no particular thing, it's just feeling happy, feeling my own body, feeling my own feelings, including my connections with each of you, or my lack of connection. So we have our own little group to practice meditation with and practice on. So I love you all. Keep practicing. And I'll see you next week. Hi, Sarah. Take care. Bye-bye.